What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Black Swamp Comics, and today we're going to be doing a review for Wonder Woman number 800 that came out just this week. So this is kind of like an anthology. It's got multiple writers, multiple artists on here, but the one we're going to be focusing on today is going to be the Tom King one, with art with pencils by Daniel Sampere. I do want to give a shout out to Joelle Jones. Joelle Jones has a remarkable style of art, and it looks like she has found a colorist that complements her art very well. So this is some outstanding work here by this team, and I hope we get to see a little bit more of that. And that is kind of like a little short Giada Flor story at the beginning. The review today is going to be for the Tom King one, because that's the one that's going to matter. It's going to be setting up the new series of Wonder Woman #1 that's going to be kicking off pretty soon. All right, so before we get started, we're going to be setting the scene up for Tom King, because if you're new to comic books, then you're going to notice that the name Tom King seems to inspire a type of ire within individuals. Some people just can't stand to hear that name. And if you're new to comics, I'll let you know why. Tom King is a talented writer. He has written great stuff. The Vision, Mr. Miracle. He's written a bunch of short stories, the Supergirl story. He's written a lot of good things, man. But the one thing that people hold against him is the Batman run. At some point, he was writing Batman Rebirth. He was supposed to be on there for 100 issues. The first 50 issues, everyone was on board. It was a great story arc. You see him really get into the nitty gritty of Batman and Selina was like the main focus of it, the whole thing. One of my favorite issues was the double date between Bruce, Selina, and then Clark and Lois Lane. That's great. And then he also had great artists on there like Joelle Jones and such. But right leading up to issue 50, there was a hint that this was going to be a wedding between Bruce and Selina. And then it was kind of a big deal, right? Back then, if you had a bunch of covers on it, a bunch of variants, a bunch of exclusives on it, that was rare. So that meant that that book was a big deal. Nowadays, everything gets multiple variants and exclusives and everything. It just doesn't have that sort of power to it anyways. DC promoted the hell out of it, and then people were so excited with all the variants coming out. Everybody was hyping it up, so ready for it. People were thinking, you know, this is going to be a very significant key issue. And then Tom King pulled the rug. He pulled the rug. We ended up not getting a wedding. Many people were very upset about that, right? So I'd imagine a lot of people were probably banking on this, and many were just they were out of it. What came afterwards was like kind of a vitriol. People were eviscerating Tom King on every single issue that came out after Batman, every single one. Batman just kept bringing Batman lower and lower. It came to the point where even we lost Alfred and stuff. Batman was literally at his lowest point ever. However, as impatient as we are, as a crowd, we didn't let Tom King finish the story. So we didn't allow him to give us a good, satisfying ending where Batman triumphantly returned and kicked everyone's ass and then married Selina. We didn't give him that opportunity. He was supposed to go to issue 100. I think he made it to 70, and then they brought in James Tynion IV. So that was kind of it. Afterwards, we got Heroes in Crisis, which I would say the art in there was spectacular. However, a lot of people were very upset with the treatment of certain characters. I thought it was kind of an interesting read. I didn't really think it was probably his best work ever, but that didn't matter. A lot of people were just crashing. They were just shitting on it left and right. And that's why you now see that Tom King's are very polarizing, because he's got some really good stuff, and then you got some very polarizing stuff. So I, however, enjoy his writing, and that's one of the main reasons why I was interested in this and checking this out. So let's go ahead, now that we got that context out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this and objectively review it. All right. So, Tom King's story is at the end. It starts out in Themyscira, where we have a grown-ass John Kent. We also have a grown-ass Damian Wayne. And it's kind of cool because they gave him that costume from like Batman 666. And he's kind of cool. And you kind of see that he hasn't really changed much, right? And then they're to meet up with Trinity, or Lizzie, the daughter of Diana, who's all grown up. I really love the banter between these three guys. This is where you can see Tom King's skill as a writer, because you can see the banter between these characters, and each character feels true. Like, it feels like their communications and their personalities are creating the conversation, and they're not, instead of them trying to fit the conversations. You know what I mean? Well, one thing I always bring up is puppets. Sometimes you'll feel like a lot of characters are just puppets for the writer, but they feel authentic, they feel filled out, they feel good, you like see some of the personality for Lizzie, the Trinity. She's very confident, but she's also got like this kind of softness to her, and then she's also like not arrogant or anything. And she brought them together there because she needed some help getting to this magical prison that they have in Themyscira. It's like in a cave, and when they go in there, they have to go through this like 3 trials in order for them to get into the prison. The first trial is pain, and John Kent gets pain. Like he doesn't even volunteer for that one, and it's just literally him being in eternal pain forever. That's pretty much it. The second trial is skill, Damian Wayne, where he starts to fight this eternal warrior, and he fights the eternal warrior for all eternity. So he's pretty much locked into a losing battle here. The third trial is honor, and this is where Trinity speaks to someone who appears to be Diana Prince, her mother, and they kind of have a little banter back and forth, and then Diana expresses disappointment in Trinity for her disobedience, and that's where Trinity is able to defeat this kind of appearance of Diana by saying, "You're not my real mother, because my mother would never be disappeared, would never be disappointed." And I really like that, because it shows that Trinity has a self-confidence, not only in herself, but she has confidence in the relationship with her mother and the love of her mother. Like, she doesn't doubt it. And I really like that, because that really shines. Inside, she finally gets inside the prison. Inside the prison, there's this dude. I don't know if this guy's Aries or not. Might be, I don't know. He looked kind of old, crusty, and you know, he's kind of wrinkly and stuff. He could be someone we've met before. Mostly we know that this guy was put in there by Diana, and he's got a bone to pick with Diana. So she's there to speak with him and get the story, because Diana won't tell her the story. So this guy's about to tell us how he ended up in this prison, how he blames Diana for it, and he's got a bone to pick with her. So I think this is very interesting. A little bit of action, not a whole lot. Most of it was just Damian Wayne, but we get a little bit of action. We see a little bit of interaction between some characters in the future, and we are getting like this mysterious character, and I'm kind of interested in now checking out number 1 to see where this is gonna go. I do like the characters. I found the characters likable. I found them authentic. The art by Daniel St. Pierre and the colorist was amazing. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll be definitely checking out issue number 1. Now, I really don't have anything to criticize it on right now, and mostly it's because it's very short. It's very short, so it's pretty much just a setup piece, and I just like and that's why I feel like it's so difficult sometimes to review just single issues, because a lot of times you might have up issues, down issues, issues where nothing happens, but overall the arc might be good. Or you might have a really good issue, and then you have a 6-issue arc, the other 5 in the arc just were terrible. So That's why it's so difficult. However, what I can say is that I am interested and that I am going to be checking out Wonder Woman #1. This is the first appearance of Trinity, Lizzie, and this is her first cover appearance. So be on the lookout for that. That being said, guys, thank you again for tuning in for the review. You guys let me know if you're going to be checking this book out, or if you're going to be checking out, or if you got some Tom King hate, just drop it down below too. All right, I'll see you guys.